Welcome to the Online Business Launchpad podcast. I'm your host, Trudy Rankin, and I'm laughing a little bit because I had just started doing the introduction, and then the person who's with me on the podcast today said, hang on, wait a minute, are you recording? And no, I wasn't, so I get to start again. So thank you, Zen. Zen Cha is with me on the podcast today. She is someone who has worked with me before, and especially when we were doing the Online Business Liftoff program and running that on behalf of the Australian federal government. And Zen has got some superpowers and that I thought would be really useful for her to share some of her wisdom and experience with you today, because she has got the ability to help you actually start to save time by figuring out a few ways to streamline your business. And when Zen was working with us with the program, one of the things that helped a lot was that she was able to take our chaotic processes, look at them, break them down into step-by-step chunks, and then go, hey, did you know you could save time if you cut this out or did that a different way? And then she would capture those processes that were now running really well and really smoothly in standard operating procedure documents, or SOPs, we call them. And it's been really lovely working with Zen. And Zen obviously has her own business, as she had her own business when she was working with us as well. And I asked her just please if she could share some of the wisdom that she's gained over the years working with clients and share it with you, the listeners. So welcome to the podcast, Zen.
Thanks, Trudy. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, Zen, I'm just thinking we actually ran a workshop together where we sat down with people and helped them figure out what they were doing in terms of their business. And by that, I mean, what were the biggest pain points in their business that was wasting a lot of time for them, and then helping them figure out how to actually take that thing, fix it, and save themselves a lot of time. And I'll get you to talk about that later. But what I'd like to do is for me to just stop talking and just get you to just share a little bit of your wisdom about helping people save time, about helping them to run a more streamlined business, one that's just more efficient and effective. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. So talking about business streamlining system and processes, that's really what I preach over the years. So really, because from my profession in quality management, so I'm using my skill again to help small business these days. So I help female coaches, consultants, and online course creators to stop feeling overwhelmed and stay organized and efficient by streamlining their business so they can scale confidently. So really, when it comes to streamlining, especially when technology is evolving so much over the years and so quickly as well, particularly because I exposed to a lot of female businesses. So they have the very common issues that which one to choose. I'm not a tech savvy, I don't want to touch that. I don't know how to set it up. I'm still doing manual handling. I'm not automating. So really, they're missing out a lot there because they're missing out of lack of productivity because they've been unorganized, unfocused, and a lot of manual handling work. And then they're also having inconsistent results. So in a way that if you have streamlined your workflow or process, really is rinse and repeat. Right? So they're missing out a lot if they're doing it. So you're talking about the consistency, there's no value adding, you're in the bottlenecks, your time and cost wasting, and you're unhappy and no productivity at all at the end of the day. So by using technology is really a need now. Unless you are maybe a hands-on business like a tradie, but they're still using tech, for example, invoicing, right, booking, etc. So when you use tech, you want to keep in mind is your training, what training you need, as in terms of you support yourself, you have that someone can either teach you or someone can do it for you. And then the capability issue as well. So what you're using, the technology you're going to use is actually capable with what you're trying to solve. There's no such thing as the best software. They're all good for a reason, right? But what is that is suitable for you is the most important, because you might have a very fancy CRM system, for example, but if you don't use the sales pipeline features, really you're wasting your money for that piece of software. But if you're using, for example, your email marketing, you just need to send out newsletter, send out campaigns like your marketing campaign. You probably can just go for a simple email marketing platform. That doesn't include the CRM part. So that is the capability or features that you want to use. And from there, there's also a cost saving because what you pay and you use it. So there's no waste. You want to have a lean business, right? So you want to have that, be very mindful of that. Also, data security as well. So cybersecurity is a big thing now, especially in Australia after all these major hacks in this big organization. So really, you got to protect yourself, especially as you're in the business. Make sure you have cyber insurance to protect yourself and also to protect your clients as well. So not just the insurance itself, but you do need to have the antivirus software, a holistic one, not just to protect your laptop or desktop, but you need to have something that has a strong firewall or to have net protection, all that kind of thing, because we're all online, everything is in cloud-based. So you got to protect yourself in that data security and privacy concerns. And another one is, I would say, is the maintenance and updates as well. So because everything is cloud-based, or even your machine as well that you're working on, you need to have a regular update or maintenance on that. Electronics will fail one day because there is a lifetime. It's just that you don't know when. So you need to keep up with your maintenance and your update, because if you don't update your laptop, for example, maybe another piece of software is not compatible. This is a very common issue if you're using, for example, Photoshop, for example. Right, so there's constantly releasing new patch. But if your laptop or your desktop is not compatible with that updates, then you can use the software. Same as your phone. If your iPhone phone, ISO is updated, but you're still at the old version, that means a lot of apps on your phone is not compatible. So you got to regularly maintain and update all these new release updates from the vendors. Yeah.
I have to say that one really resonates with me, because although my phone is still relatively newish, it doesn't have to just go out of date. You can just have the battery die. So it bricked itself one night because it didn't charge properly on the stand. And of course, then my alarm didn't go off. And then of course, because everything's wrapped around my phone, because these days we use two-factor authentication a lot with logging into different accounts. And in order to help with the cybersecurity side of things, you need something like a phone to be able to send the code to. And if you don't have your phone, you can't do that. You can't get into your account and you are toast. So
yes,
that is a problem.
You're right, totally.
Yeah. And then another thing too, sometimes just technology does weird things, because yesterday I was working with another person I'm doing some work with, and they were having problems with these error messages from WordPress and just getting these fatal error messages, and they were getting worse and worse. And you've got to be able to work around those issues and be able to get help with them really quickly. Yeah.
Yes, technology is fascinating, but then a lot of people, like a lot of female businesses predominantly, they're trying to not get to involve too much. But technology is easy for me from my background, my professional background as well. So it's just a piece of cake. But not everyone the same, see?
That's right. Not everybody is that comfortable with technology, although it is really important to get out of your comfort zone and make yourself learn some of those skills that are required in terms of running a business. But when it comes to basically starting to think about how you can streamline your business, and then coming back down to the very first starting point, if somebody was wanting to start to look at how they could use technology to start to automate things, to start to do that streamlining, what would be the very first step that they would take in order to start on that journey?
I would suggest is start with your inbox, because the inbox, the one that will get out of control very easily. You know what I mean? One of the things, because we subscribe to so many things, and once they start bombarding with all this marketing material, your inbox basically just fill up with all the marketing information, but nothing, very little information, or you lost your clients or very important sales in there. So really for that, I would suggest when you set up your email, set up a separate email account for yourself and a subscription email and those that you want to subscribe. So maybe it's a sign up at xyz.com and yourself as in xyz.com. So separate these two, have these two separate inboxes. And then if you think, let's say your email service provider, how can I say that? If they only allowed you to have one email unless you sign up for additional one, then use filter in your inbox feature. So filter out all the subscription email to another folder or label it something else, name it differently. So it actually separate out your personal email, your super VIP emails that land into your inbox and those subscription emails that land into a separate folder. So you don't miss out any important sales or prospect or follow up all these important messages. And because you got so buried by all these marketing emails, the subscription.
I'm sitting here wincing just a little bit because if you were able to see my inbox and the numbers of unread emails in my inbox, even though I do my best to scan through, it's just like, oh my word, I really got to clean that up, and yet never get around to cleaning it up. And also it's just, do you do it on your computer? Do you set all that up? Or do you actually go into Google and try and set up rules there? Where's the best place to actually start to set up some of those filters?
So depending on what email platform that you use. So if you, let's say I'm a Gmail user, so I'm a Google user. So I'll set it up in filters. So every Gmail account has this setting, it's called filters. And then you just put in the email address, the sender email address, and then tell the system, which is in Gmail, say, okay, if this email coming from this email address, and then you file it into this particular folder, and then skip from your inbox. So you don't want to see them because that was your read later emails. You just want to save it, but skip your inbox and put it into a folder. So you come back to that when you have time, or once a week, or end of the day, and then delete that folder, I would say a month later, because all the information, all the offers is already outdated.
Yeah, no, that's really good advice. That's one of the things that I've got on my to-do list when I've got time to sit down and think, and which is a really silly way of thinking about it, because I should really make the time and do it so that I can save myself time sooner rather than waiting. Okay, so that's really, really useful. That's really helpful. What might be the next step after that if somebody was thinking about a really low-hanging fruit, about something that they could do relatively quickly that's going to save them, I don't know, maybe a few minutes a day or something? Anything else that they could think of that they could do?
On the inbox or something else?
It could be something else.
Okay. Another thing is booking a time. So you want to have a conversation with either is your leads, your prospect, or your clients. Have an online booking system. So use this online booking. It can be Calendly, it can be Acuity scheduling. If let's say you subscribe to Google Workspace, Google itself, you can set up a public calendar through your Google Calendar. So use this and send it to them. If someone say, oh, I want to have a chat with you or have a meeting with you, send it off and say, this is my link, book a time that works for you. Instead of ping pong message or email, that is quite frustrating. I found that that's quite frustrating, because if you're in the same time zone, that's okay. But if you're talking about with someone from overseas, all right, hang on a minute, is this from the States or is this from Europe? It's crazy if you don't use that. So really use this online booking system. Is saving everyone's time. You don't have to keep following up. You just only say, okay, you haven't received your booking. Did you get a chance to do it? You just need to do that follow up at the beginning, but then the system itself will send a reminder after that. Once approaching to the date or the meeting time, this can send you the reminder instead of you sitting there and, oh, we're meeting tomorrow. Are you still coming? This is the link. So really that is really is time saving for me already. And it's really is a rinse and repeat process. You just have to create the same event. You can create endless type of events, but you always have the link or time available for the person that you want to meet that can book and pop into a diary straight away. So there's no double book, like you're booking for your GP appointment and somebody else booking for the time. So really, you don't have to like, oh, now I have to rejuggle the other appointment. That's double bookings. Like, yes.
Yes, and that is a nightmare. Although I have to say, even with the calendaring systems, we just came off of daylight, as you're well aware, we just came off of daylight savings here in Melbourne. And my calendar went funny. It just ended up smushing up two different meetings that used to be separated and put them on at the same time, and ended up double booking me. So that was kind of interesting. But having calendars set up so that you can send a link, that's so true. That is such a time saver, because I can remember times when you ping pong back and forth like 6 or 7 times, and it just drives you mad because it takes time to stop what you're doing, read the email, go, oh, does that match my calendar? Got to go check. No, it doesn't. Go back to them. They got to go check. It's just such a waste of time. So just out of curiosity, I use Acuity scheduling. What do you use for your calendaring system?
I use Google Calendar.
You use Google Calendars, and do you do it through Google Workspace or?
Yes, Google Workspace. So by default, it's with Meet Online is Google Workspace, but you still can also disable that online and then change to the in-person as in location. So if let's say you don't want to have Meet Google Online using Google Meet, you can change that to maybe Zoom or like in-person, like a physical location.
Oh, I see. So it's about, you fill out the bit about where you're going to meet. You can, as you say, you can
change. Yeah, you can change that. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's really, really useful. Yeah, because I only recently, because I've been using Google for years and years and years, but I've only just recently signed up for Google Workspace. And so I'm still learning my way a little bit around how it works and integrates with other things. But yeah, I use my Acuity scheduling quite heavily because I have a lot of different types of events or types of meeting types, however you want to say it. And it just makes it easy to go, okay, this is the meeting type we need. It's this long. It's either free or it's paid. And here's the link, and you can choose which one and send them the link. You're right. That's really, really helpful.
Yes. Yeah, because the reason I use Google, because Google has its own Google Meet platform, which is like similar to Zoom. And instantly I can cancel my Zoom subscription and I use Google Meet. So that's really, it's another cost saving. But if it's a long meeting, so really I don't have to concern, but I still can use Zoom because on the free, I still get 40 minutes, but that 40 minutes I can use this for a short meeting, like maybe it's a first discovery call meeting or connection meeting with new leads or person that I met during networking. So within that half an hour, I'm still able to use Zoom, but it's the cost saving there that I can save. I don't have to subscribe to Zoom, and I use my Google Meet as well.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. That makes heaps of sense. And so I'm just trying to think, what are the other really common things that make our lives easier? Is there another thing that you can share that makes your life and the lives of your clients easier and faster?
I would suggest another one is to use a project management tool. So it can be your Asana, your Trello, or your ClickUp, anything that you can put in like your to-do list. One is your to-do list. If you're a first startup, really like you want to tick off what's your task that you have to tick off, like your daily is marketing or leads or sales, all that. If you're in the growth mode, so really you want to start using project management tool, because you'll start talking about you're having projects. So project doesn't have to be like a big event. It can be your monthly content from draft or concept to publishing. So that is really treated as a project. Your online event, if let's say you're doing online event, for example, a challenge like to build list building. So you put up a live webinar, a free webinar or challenge, really that's another project. So it has a prep stage, it has an implementation stage, it has a delivery stage, and it has post stage. So you already have for this in a high level view, you already have these 4 stages. So instead of everything in your head, put it on somewhere. So the digital platform is the best. So you don't have to flip the paper back and forward, which page or all that. So you have that plan itemized or laid out in the project management view or setup, and you can go through from that planning itself. You're able to identify what resources do you need, who are you missing, do I have enough money to go this far or this big, or do I have to scale it down the size of the event? So you're able to identify from there what your resources need, your budget needs, and who another resources is people on top. So do you need extra people to come and help you to do that event on the day? So that itself is really already is a time saving, because, and again, once you've done that planning, it's a rinse and repeat process. You can do it in another time, another season, or next month, or next quarter. Same process, but you change the details. So again, you already have the system, you have the work process, you have the workflow from the start to the end.
Actually, you're saying that, and just thinking when we were working together on the online business liftoff program, you did that for me. You basically, we were using Asana, we used Asana, and I had been using Trello or nothing, basically. I've been doing the paper head thing, which is silly. And so you helped set up a template for all of the repeatable events that we have to prepare for and things. So things like workshops, we would do workshops for our OBL members. And there's a template there that we worked our way through for everything. And you set that up. That was really, really helpful, super helpful.
Yes.
And it saves time, because you're not trying to remember what you did, and then you realize you've missed a step, or you've got to go back hunting through all kinds of things to try and find what it was you actually did. So that's really, really useful.
Yes.
Yeah.
And especially if, let's say, once you started to build your team members, you have staff or virtual team, if you want to delegate that bit to the next person, you can just do it very quickly with a very minimum training, instead of you sitting next to the person and do, no, this is the step, this is the one, you got to find this, do this and that. So really, the person can take the whole chance, like it's already is a system. They can just take the whole system and then start working. So you can get the person stuff very quickly as well.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And I've actually seen other people use like project management templates like that as lead magnets. Right. Here's all the steps. Here it is. If you want it, download it. And of course, that's if you share the same type of project management system. But there's a whole bunch, like I think you mentioned ClickUp and Asana.
Yes, ClickUp, Asana, Monday, Teamwork. Yes, there's a lot out there. So it's really, they're all good. They're all the best. But what do you need? What works for you the best and the team? So again, you have to, sometimes is you start using it now, so you know, you get an idea. And once you grow, your business evolve, then you know, okay, this is the type of software I'm going to use that can support us for the next 5 years. 10 years will be great, but 5 years, we're looking at 5 years time, it can support in the next 5 years. That's really fantastic. And then you then start looking for another type, something that is more additional with more features, because as a business grow, you need more features to support you. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's very true. That's really important to think about, because I have a project management background as well as being chief information officer. I actually started my career, full career, as a project manager. And you only need a certain amount of functionality until you get to a certain size, and then you need a lot more. And I think that's important for small businesses and small business owners to realize that they can use these project management tools that do have this amazing functionality. A lot of them actually have free accounts.
Yes.
And you can just sign up for a free account and use it to your heart's content. And then when you've grown to the point where you need to use more functionality, then you can start paying for it.
Exactly.
The time you've saved and the work that you're getting in will actually more than pay for the subscription fee. So that's really good. Yeah. Wow. I'm going to ask just a slightly different question. In terms of the work that you do for your own business, is there any one particular piece of technology that you love the most? ClickUp, is that the one
ClickUp,
you use?
my project management tool. So I use ClickUp. So that's my favorite too. I document my process, like my work SOP in there, my to-do list in there, my planning, my KPI scorecard all in there. So it's not just project management, but I also use this as a business suite. So I'm paid to use ClickUp. So it has automated features. So it's like when I take off this and it will automate and create the next task for me. So I know that automation features is really good because some project or some task is dependency on the previous activity. So that's why I use ClickUp and my must have.
Actually, that's a really good point, because if you're into projects and project management, there are often what they call dependent tasks, where there's a previous task that has to be done before you can do a particular task. Yeah, no, that's really, really good. That's really useful. I'm just trying to think about which piece of software I love the most, that I use the most. It's probably my email service provider, ActiveCampaign. I use that to help me keep people on my email list up to date with what's happening. And I can use it for automations, email nurture sequences, and all kinds of things. So that's a really useful thing. And I know do you still use MailerLite?
I still use MailerLite, yes.
Yeah, so that's worth a quick discussion. What's the reasoning for you to use MailerLite? Because it is one of the ones that's quite good in terms of an email.
Yeah,
service.
the reason I love MailerLite is because I can do segmentation. I can have create embedded forms, and also I can have it still allows you to document a very simple, the CRM side, which is notes. They call it notes. Like if, let's say, I want to put in the notes for this particular contact, I'm still able to do it. So I don't have to get to a full CRM system. So I'm still keep staying on MailerLite. And it's really easy, friendly, user-friendly to use it. And it's clean. I like the way it's clean. It's not clunky. It's very similar. The principle, like the features, the principle is very similar to MailChimp, but because the pricing structure is really, it's not suitable for me in a way. Okay. So that's why I jumped to MailerLite. Yes.
Yeah. I know a few other people who use MailerLite and they like it. Yeah.
Yeah, it can do automation, it can do tagging, it can do segmentation, can embed forms. Yeah, it can segregate your list. So it has all the features that I need. So that's why I'm staying with MailerLite.
Oh, yeah, that's a good testimonial for MailerLite. I think it's cool. Yeah, because I've used MailChimp, I've used Aweber, and quickly realized that MailChimp was just not the thing for me. Aweber works for a certain period of time until you outgrow it. And then you either need something like ActiveCampaign or ConvertKit, or MailerLite can do some of the stuff that you need. So I think at the end of the day, which one you end up using depends a little bit on your business and
Correct.
your personality and what you like doing. But I like ActiveCampaign.
I like ActiveCampaign if I have the e-commerce site or transactional sites. I would change to ActiveCampaign with a hesitation. But because the business that I'm involved, it's not a membership type, or there's no online transactional. So that's why I don't need that features yet.
Yeah, no, that's right. So it comes down to your business model. So Zen, I think that's really useful and really helpful. Before we just wrap up, have you got maybe just one key piece of advice that you'd like to share with our listeners, just about that whole, and I'll keep it a bit broad, that whole area of streamlining your business, saving yourself time, just being more effective?
So yes, so the best advice is document your process. Once you lay it out, document it, and you see a big picture. And then you'll know then, okay, this bit is this part, this task, I'm spending half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours. How can I cut down my time? Or this piece of the whole process is costing me $150. How can I cut down my cost? So start documenting your process, and then start streamlining from there. How can you streamline, optimize, and make it more efficient?
That's really, really good advice. And just thinking about that, once again, you can use technology to help with that as well. You can either, like I use Miro.com. You can use pen and paper, though, just as easily. Are there any other sort of mapping tools? Do you use any mapping tools like that?
Yes, another one is mind mapping. So really you can start with one of yours, and then what are the departments or functions you have. And then from there, you lay out what's the process or what's the SOP. And then from there, branching out again, what software that you use.
Yeah, so it makes it easy to just basically get it down on paper so you can see it visually, because seeing it visually is sometimes the key to actually picking up where there's leaks in terms of your time or places where your time's being wasted. So that's really, really helpful. Zen, can you just talk about very quickly, if people were interested in being able to do that little workshop that we put together that helps you get started with streamlining your business, where would they go?
They can come to the website. So come to my website, reavasolutions.com.au. So we'll pop it into the transcript. And there is a shop page, and there's a item that you can purchase. Either use a recording. We got a recording version, and then we also have a live workshop version. So we'll put up the live event when we finalize the date. But if you come to the shop page, and you're able to find the products.
Yeah. So you can either do it if you want to come to the live workshop, those dates get put up on the website. But if you want to just do it as a pre-recorded sort of a thing, yeah, you can just click on the link and get that. And it's a really inexpensive way of actually getting started with the process of streamlining your business. Yeah. Thank you so much, Zen. That's been fantastic. And can you just spell out the name of your website?
REAVA Solutions.com.au.
Okay, thank you. Because like I said, I was saying earlier in my first introduction before I realized I wasn't recording, I say it REAVA Solutions and you say it
REAVA.
REAVA. So basically it's just REAVA Solutions.com.au. Zen, thank you so much. It's been great having you here.
Pleasure, Trudy. Thanks for having me again.